Hello and welcome. No, you are not welcome to stay in my house. You are welcome to visit, but you can't stay here long term. I can welcome you for a few days, but that's that. After that, you really have to go, and that's how it works. I don't want to have you here, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't want to have you here and you can't stay here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, today I will answer something which many of us foreigners don't understand, or maybe we just don't even know it, but this is a fact. I cannot welcome somebody to come live in my house. I cannot just say, oh, my friend lost his apartment or her apartment. They can come to live with me. Uh, this is just, I don't know how to say it. This is a no-go area. Um, I will try to explain. In Switzerland, when you move, when you change house, you have to, um, what they call it, you have to register by the government. So it's official, they know where everybody lives, how much space you have, and how many people live in the house, and all that. And if I was to bring in somebody without reporting to the government, then I'm in serious trouble. Not only that, I just have a two-roomed apartment, and so even if I decided to make it legal, go to the government and say, "Oh, a friend wants to stay with me," the government will say no because I don't have enough space, which I find terrible. I don't know your place, where you come from, but I know in Kenya, a family of seven can share a three-roomed house, totally no problem. But here it's totally an issue. So if I went to the government today and said I wanted a friend to live with me, they will say no because I don't have enough space. So some people who may know it, or some people who may not know it, will think, oh, I'm having problems. Let me stay in your place for a while. Then, if I say no, they get offended. But it just doesn't work because if the government finds out I'm putting somebody in my place illegally, I can be in some serious, serious trouble. I will get to that later on. But I will give you another example. There was a time I wanted to move from where I was living to go to Zurich. And because my school was 8 o'clock in the morning until 5, so I just thought, and the place I was living was more than 1 hour from Zurich. So I just thought it over and I realized I can't commute every day to be in the school, then go back home, come back the next day every day. So I ended up looking for an apartment. And in this apartment, I had to register that that I'm a weekly tenant. I don't know what they call it. Wokenaufenthalt. So I had to register that I'm living there on a weekly basis, not permanently. Sorry. And that's how it is. I cannot just go from here today and go to I don't know where and just decide to be living. It just don't work. They don't accept it. So you have to be registered. And if they find you living in a place without being registered, your hosts will be fined. And this is a serious fine. So sometimes people who don't know it will think like, oh, you have enough space. Why don't you let this person live for a while? Or things like, which happens very well. My brother is from Africa and he needs a place to stay. Let him stay with you for a while. I will get you small money. It's not worth the risk. I don't know in other countries. I'm only speaking of Switzerland. So I will explain. When my husband moved here from Spain, I had to ask the landlord permission for my husband to be here, which was granted. I registered in all the places which I was supposed to, different government offices. But for whatever reason, there was one place I really don't know what happened. I I don't know how I got confused or I just don't know what I was doing. Then instead of going to the post with the letter, I gave it to a neighbor to go and post for me. And somehow she did not post the letter. I soon realized she did not post the letter. I don't know how, but I just had a gut feeling she did not post the letter. Then I asked, and she said yes, she posted the letter. So instead of following up to ask if they got the letter that my husband is here, I didn't follow up. I just kept putting it off. Then it was just a question of time until they will know. And they discovered my husband was here. And they just said, I kept my husband here illegally, which was not true. My husband had all his papers in order. I just did not I just did not tell them because it was like I don't know, 3, 4, 5 different offices where I had to go to say my husband is here. But this one office where I forgot to go, I didn't even forget. Like I said, I posted a letter which the stupid lady did not post. So they didn't get my letter. So by the time they realized my husband was here and all that, I'm just tired, really. I don't know how to say this. They fined me 7,000 francs. As bad as it sounds, 7,000 francs is more or less equivalent to $7,000. You don't know how that feels. That is 700,000 shilling. I'm from Kenya, so we use Kenya shillings. So that was 700,000 shillings just because I did not report that my husband is here. And the same goes for keeping somebody illegally in your place. Many people do it unknowingly or knowingly or hoping they will be lucky or maybe just for the extra money, but it's really, really not worth it. I have the receipts to prove I paid 7,000 francs. And oh God, I still feel sad thinking about it because 700,000 shillings could have done me a lot of things in Kenya. And yet I had to pay this amount for being stupid. Yeah, let's just call it that way, for being stupid. And to be fair and honest, I really didn't know it's so expensive. I didn't know it will cost me so much. Otherwise, I could have gone there running. Immediately, my husband came here. I would have reported immediately and all that. But I just did not know that it's so bad. And yeah, I got fined 7,000 francs. I don't have that kind of money. I work 40%. I don't work 100%. I work just a few hours in a week. So I don't have that kind of money. But I really had to pay, and I learned my lesson the hard way. You just don't keep somebody in your house illegally. If you want to, for example, you have a friend who came in from Italy and he wants a place to stay, put them up, but you have to register them. And this is where the problem comes. Um, it's a fact, sometimes somebody will come from Italy or Spain or whatever, and they don't have any legal papers to be here. They don't have legal papers to be where they came from. So you just can't go to register them because they are illegally here. So it will be a question of, yeah, let me just put them up and hope they don't get into trouble so that nobody knows they are here. I didn't get into trouble. My husband didn't get into trouble. But the government still knew that he was here. And I didn't register him in this one single office. And it cost me 7,000 francs. So now imagine putting somebody who is here illegally, somebody who is here without any papers. It's really not worth it. But having said that, if they are here legally, you may still go to the government and say you want to put somebody in your place to help them out. And they may say no because they feel you don't have enough space. So I don't know what enough space is or what's considered enough space. I think that should be left for me to decide. It should be left for me to decide how many people can live in my place. But I think the Swiss just make things complicated and difficult. I've visited friends in Italy, and you find that several people live in one flat. I've visited friends in Spain. Again, is the same thing. You will find that some of them are even families. So you will find a husband, wife, and three kids, and they have a room, and in the other room, so let's say a three-roomed apartment is accommodating 10 people or more, and it's totally okay. But here in Switzerland is not okay. And so if somebody came from Spain, they come here, they find me living in a large, roomy apartment, they will think, how can I say it? They will call me unhelpful, ungrateful, and, because I refuse to put them up. what they don't understand is that I know the consequence. I know what it's like if somebody finds that I'm putting them here. It's just, it's just, it's just causing too much trouble. So I think I'm okay. I'm okay with it if a friend say to me or somebody says, "Oh, she's not a good person. My brother was here, needed a place to stay, and she say no, and yet she have enough space." I'm totally okay with that. I'm not putting somebody in my place. I'm not letting somebody stay in my place illegally. And as I said, trying to make it legal is again another long, complicated process, which I don't want to repeat again. So I feel that everybody should find their way, or they should go to the next person or whatever. But for me personally, I'm not putting somebody in my place. I'm not helping because a friend lost her apartment and she need a place to stay. No. For this, I think I'm the wrong person for it. I know the pain of it. Um, because remember, this time I paid 7,000 francs. My husband was not here illegally. My husband was he was registered as living here and all that, but I just did not report in one office and it cost me 7,000 francs. What about having somebody who is here illegally? What about having somebody living in my place illegally? So for me personally, it's a no no. Find your way. Call me whatever you like, but you are not staying in my place. Visit me, but at the end of the day, find your way. Come back tomorrow to visit. And having said that, it's really, really funny. The first person who told me this, it was a Nigerian friend, and she told me, "Oh, I feel sorry for this lady. She's homeless." But I told her she can come here to shower and eat and relax, but she's not sleeping in my house. Then I thought, that's not a very nice person. But now looking back, I can understand very well why she did not want the lady sleeping in her place. Because I think she had heard what happens. And for somebody like me who did not know what happens when they find you putting somebody in your place illegally, I was judging her because I just thought, how can she refuse? This is her. Can't a woman who is homeless have no legal papers and have nothing? How can she refuse to put her? But now looking back, I really understand and I congratulate her because it's really really not worth it. And that's why whatever anyone says, like like sometimes maybe you bring your sister from Africa or your brother, and you are looking for a place for them to lay low. Then you will ask, please let my sister or my brother stay in your place for a while. I'm just not doing it. And if you are if you are in Spain, that's okay. I've seen people do it. If you are in Italy, that's okay. I've seen people do it, but don't do it if you are in Switzerland. It's just, you're just causing too much trouble for everyone. And I'm sure we don't all have 7,000 francs to throw away. So that's my reason why nobody is staying in my house for whatever reason. And if they have to stay, I will have to make it legal. And me trying to make it legal, the government will say no because, in their opinion, I don't have enough space. But just don't put somebody in your house illegally. It's just not worth the trouble. So if you're in trouble or you have a sister who just came from Africa and you are looking for a place for them to lay low, especially in Switzerland, please don't ask your friend, or I don't care if they're your best friend, you're just putting them in too much trouble that you don't realize. Um, I would suggest find a way for your brother or your sister or whatever, find a way for them to go to Italy or whichever place, but don't ask your friend in Switzerland to put them up illegally. Is not worth the pain, is not worth the money. Also, guys, I really appreciate your time, and thanks so much. I don't take it for granted that you are here watching my video, and I really hope you found value in this video. Just don't put up somebody in your house. I don't care if you have 100 rooms, just don't put somebody there illegally. Guys, please share my video, subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you next time. I value your time. Thank you so much.